Here we go. Thank you, Pauline. Any other test? Again, if you have not already copied these down into your notes, let's get these copied down. If you are watching online on YouTube, there is a PDF of these notes posted in our Google Classroom. A circle is a set of points all equal distance from the center point. Every circle technically has a center point. And if you were to draw a bunch of radiuses, or radii is how it would be said plural, they would all equal the same distance. For example, we could say on this one, they are all 7 units from the center. A chord. A chord is a segment with endpoints on a circle. A chord is a segment with endpoints on a circle. Segments have a starting point and a stopping point. It doesn't matter where they're at. It just matters that every chord has a starting and stopping point inside of the circle. A secant is a line that passes through the circle at 2 points. Passes through the circle. Doesn't matter where at through the circle, it just passes through it at 2 specific points. A radius is a segment from the center to a point on the circle. Radius is a segment from the center to a point on the circle. And then your diameter is a chord that passes through the center. We should not be scrolling on our Chromebooks right now. We should be making sure we have all of the notes down. A tangent is a line intersecting the circle at 1 point. It's a line on the outside that intersects the circle at one singular point. And the point of tangency is this point. It's the actual point. Does everyone have that? Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to write these down, then we'll talk about them. A common tangent is a tangent line touching two or more circles. There are two types of common tangents, an internal tangent and an external tangent. These are somewhat difficult to draw. Do not expect you to be an artist. Every circle has a center. We talked about that just a second ago. And two or more circles have this imaginary line that is in between the centers. A common tangent that is internal will have a tangent line. This is what's hard about them. A tangent line that crosses through or crosses over, I should say, that imaginary tangent line. Let me get my straight here. An internal tangent line crosses over that imaginary center line. If it's internal, it's going to cross through that imaginary center line. Sometimes it's easier to draw your line before you draw your points than to try to match your points up or to match your line up with the points. You don't have to be an artist. This is what it should look something like. There can actually be two tangents here. Of course, these are lines, so they extend forever. And then you could come back and draw your points. Okay, both of those tangent lines cross over that imaginary center point or center line. An external tangent does not cross through that imaginary line. So you might have one on top and I want to do that in red. You could have one on bottom. Okay, that one's not perfect, but you understand the point here. Right, Colin? Anyone still drawing these? Coplanar. That is what some of you are, is a coplanar. Complainer. Coplanar circles are circles that lie on the same plane. And if they overlap, there are 2 points of intersection. If they don't overlap but touch at one, there's 1 point of intersection. And then if they are inside of each other, or one is inside of the other one, they could share a center point. And if they share a center point, we would call this a concentric circles, concentric circles. this is all of the notes I have for you today. We'll get deeper into these and talk more about circles tomorrow.